Okay, hello Scott and Tom. Nice to see both of you. And Anushka, can see you too. And Christina, great. We're all seen and we're all seeing each other. Hello Nuno. Nikki, hello. All right, nice to see you, Nuno. Wow, this is great. Okay, hi Braden, Courtney, Fabian. Hi Cliff and Guled and Anna. Hello Spunkwit. And here at the temple we have Rue, just joking, Eduardo, Mickey, and Maurizio. Ah, yeah. So we're all gathered to practice together, to turn inwards, to cultivate, to bring up the normal, ordinary mind and to be with it fully. And Anna, great that you're here. Hello, Noah and Susan over on YouTube, and Francie. We take these first few minutes to get settled get settled in general. Start to gently pump the brakes, slowing down. Bringing our body to a stop. At least we're not running around, we're not jumping around. We find our meditation position, whatever that might be. I like to think that one of the reasons that people don't always turn their camera on is because they are on a mountaintop in a hot tub, and that is their meditation position, and it's not appropriate to be sharing that. That's the situation I would like to be in. So one day, hopefully, I'll be streaming from a mountaintop in a hot tub. See, Braden said you caught me. Braden's guilty. Braden might be joining from the bathtub, which is a good substitute. So just to take a few more minutes, a few more moments to get settled. Give people the time and space to join in and also get settled for themselves. Scott, did you say something? I couldn't hear. I saw you light up green.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I said they could be formless beings and the camera can't register their image.
Yeah, that'll also be nice. But hot tub on the mountain is what I'll be moving towards. So, actually, when we practice meditation like this, when we gather together, it's nice that you brought this up, Scott. We invite all beings to join us, whether they have forms or no forms, whether they are heavenly beings or wretched creatures. We invite them to come into this space and to practice with us. It's all inclusive and it's all wholesome. So there's no one that we exclude from it. There's no shame about it. We can invite everyone to be here with us, to practice with us at this moment. All aspects of ourselves, all aspects of our lives, we just invite and allow and bring in to be here right now, to give us this energy to touch the center of our lives, the center of the universe, which is for each one of us this beating heart, these expanding and contracting lungs, filling and releasing. So, in getting started, let's all make sure that we are in a comfortable, stable position. We can take a moment to recognize where we are, to recognize that we're safe, that we are together in community for the purpose of practice, introspection, contemplation, being with the breath, being with the body, being in a state of acceptance. We can recognize that we're not doing that alone, but together, that that's the space that we're in right now. We can let our body get comfortable and start to accept whatever position our body is in, accept whatever position our mind is in. And we can start by taking a few deep breaths at our own pace to collect and gather the mind and bring the mind home to the body. Breathing in deeply, bringing the mind home to the body. We can close our eyes or keep them open. But if we keep our eyes open, try not looking at anything in particular, just kind of looking in front of you. But also it's oftentimes recommended to close the eyes. Turn our vision, turn our looking around. So we start to look inside. As we take those initial deep breaths, really letting gravity do its work, allowing the body to settle, allowing the body to get grounded, connected to the ground, connected to the chair or the couch or the seat that we're in. Beginning to be aware of the body, any sensations that we notice, any tightness in the shoulders or the butt or the back, or any tightness in the face. We just start to notice that, accept, and relax. Through our breathing, we relax and bring to a rest any conflict with our body. Not being shy about taking as our main point of interest in our life right now the body, this body. Feeling the effect that breathing has on the body. We can follow the course of the breath as it flows in through our nose, goes down the throat, through the chest, all the way into our lungs and expands and fills. Aware of the inside of our bodies. the body coming to a rest, a place of stillness. Let the breath find a natural rhythm. Don't worry about how you're breathing. Don't try to control your breathing. Just let the breath happen. Breathe however you need to breathe at this moment to be fully connected, fully present with yourself, with the experience of having a body. It can be very humbling to recognize and to touch the reality of the body. We so easily focus all of our attention on stories and narratives, goals, very much based in thought, words and phrases. But the body, which is at the center of any and all of those stories, does not rely on words or phrases, wasn't established or created through ideas. So as we let the body be still and breathe deeply and fully, we bring our attention into the body. We allow ourselves to practice just breathing, just being aware. Any distraction, any thought, any difficulty is just a reminder to refresh, to restart, to continue. Just breathing, just being aware. Every distraction, every bump in the road, a part of the path not separate from it. So instead of being discouraged by our bumpy, normal, ordinary mind, be inspired to continue just breathing, just being aware. It's okay to be with the body. It's okay to be with the mind. We don't need to try and change it, to fix it, to solve it, but just breathing, just being aware, being with the body as it is, being with the mind as it is. We can say that the breath is our way of being with. So just breathing, feeling the breath as it flows in through our nose and flows out is simply our way of being with. Don't practice meditation to fall into a state of dullness or sleepiness, but instead, our meditation is a time to be most alive, most aware, most connected. What is really happening right now? If someone were to ask you, who are you? What is happening? And you couldn't answer through words or stories or past and future, but through experience, then how can you answer? Who am I? To experience experiencing itself. Release, relax, refresh, restart. This moment as it is. Just breathing, just being aware. a sense of warmth, a sense of peace, a sense of safety, not from relationship to anything outside, but from relationship to inside. The relationship with this normal, ordinary mind. The mind as it is, without sticking to anything, without attaching to anything, just noticing, just experiencing. Just breathing and being aware. Happiness is here and now. Dropping any and all worries. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just this. There's no high-speed rail to the hot springs on the mountaintop, to the snow and open sky with great stars, great space. We have to walk, we have to journey, breath by breath, moment by moment, to continue on the path of seeing this original mind, this mind and body that is in no way separate from all space, all time, that is no other than no space, no time, no thought, no body, no mind. Just this breathing and being aware. The non-separation of good and evil. My own mind and body are blissful and happy, calm and serene, without good or evil. The body of reality is independent, without location. Whatever strikes the eye is none other than true awakening. The objects of sense are originally empty and null. Ordinary people arbitrarily create attachments and fixations. Enlightenment and suffering are equal. Who in the world gets special treatment? The uncontrived great way is natural and spontaneous. You don't need to use your mind to figure it out. Enlightening beings are untrammeled, spiritually effective. Whatever they do is always imbued with sublime awareness. Seekers clinging to method, sitting in meditation, are like silkworms spitting out thread, binding themselves. The essence of reality is originally completely clear. When the sickness is healed, what is the need to cling to the medicine? When you know all things are equal, you are serenely clear and open, blissfully happy. So, as we did last time, in our last meeting yesterday, we are going to go through a little bit more of the Heart Sutra, which is a sutra teaching very close to my heart. So make sure that you are comfortable, and we'll kind of go through it a little bit more, verse by verse. And if any questions or comments or anything comes up for you, please do feel invited to share, to ask a question about it, okay? So we have our more formal meditation period that we start with, and during that time, try to stay in your meditation position, try to endure. But when we start to unpack or explore some teachings together, don't bind yourself up like a silkworm. Relax and listen. And if you're able to, if you're comfortable to, then you can stay more in your meditation position. But otherwise, don't beat yourself up. We're here to grow and to learn and to communicate this wisdom together, not to punish ourselves in any kind of way. So I think we got through the first two verses, and I'll read these, and if anyone has a question about them or a comment about them, you can bring it up. When the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, also known as Guan Yin in Chinese, was coursing in the deeper prajna paramita, that is, the deeper transcendent wisdom that we can experience in meditation, they realized, that all the five skandhas are empty. All of the aggregates, forms, feelings, perceptions, inclinations, consciousness, is fundamentally empty because it's fundamentally always in a state of flux, always in a state of change. It's not fixed. Thereby transcending all sufferings. So realizing that those uncomfortable physical sensations were inherently empty, they are transcended. How are they transcended? Because there's no longer any attachment to them. There's no craving for pleasurable ones. There's no trying to get rid of unpleasant ones. It's just to experience them because they are inherently empty. What are they empty of? Satisfactoriness, permanence, and any separation from everything else that we're experiencing. So she realized that all the five skandhas, forms, feelings, all aspects of our experience are fundamentally empty, always changing, thereby transcending all sufferings. And then we go into the verse that says Shariputra, so it's talking to someone. It's talking to this famous monk from the time of the Buddha. Shariputra, form is not other than emptiness, and emptiness not other than form. So the sensations that you feel are not other than the space in between those sensations. The thoughts that you have are not other than the space in between those thoughts. And both that the space in between the thoughts are also not other than your thoughts. So it's not that the thoughts are empty, but emptiness isn't those thoughts. Emptiness is that thought. Thought is that emptiness. There's no discrimination involved here. Form is not other than emptiness. Your body is not other than spaciousness. And spaciousness is not other than your body. Just like in the text that we just read before we did this, before we start looking at the Heart Sutra. Everything that catches your eye, everything that sparks your eye, is none other than true awakening. Every thought is no other than emptiness. Every sensation is none other than emptiness, than no sensation. And you don't grasp this intellectually, but this chant, this Heart Sutra, is a wisdom mantra, a sharing of this deep transcendental wisdom. So we're not all enlightened. You know, I feel a pain in my knee. I don't feel raw sensation that I'm totally detached from, right? So it's not that we add this onto ourselves, that we become believers of emptiness or something. It's to inspire a different way of looking at what we are experiencing that's not based on attachment. That's not based on holding on to, because you can't, and there's nothing to hold on to anyway. So form is precisely emptiness, and emptiness precisely form. So also are sensation, perception, volition, and consciousness. So your perceptions are no other than the lack of perception. The sensations that you feel are truly no other. They are not separated from the lack of sensation, arising and passing away. All are empty of what? Of being permanent, being separate from anything else, existing as a separate entity, and of any kind of satisfactory qualities. So think of a particular thought that we have. Why is that thought relevant? Why is that thought powerful? Because we think that that thought exists independently. We think that that thought exists separate from all other thought, or separate from the universe, the moon, our breath, our heart, the experience of our body. This thought is a separate self-entity, and because of that, it's scary, and it's worrisome, and it's difficult to be with. And we also imagine that it has some kind of permanence to it, that this thought is somehow permanent. This experience is somehow permanent. This feeling of loss is somehow permanent. Well, it's not. It's no other than impermanence. We just get fixated. We get in that state of tension. And for that moment, we are deluded. We have a false thinking about what's real. So Shariputra, Anna, although I'm not Guan Yin, I'm not Avalokiteshvara, form is not other than emptiness, and emptiness not other than form. Form is precisely emptiness, and emptiness precisely form. So also are sensation, perception, volition, and consciousness. The uncomfortable feeling that you have in your knee is no other than the encouragement to continue practicing meditation, to continue relaxing, refreshing, restarting, calming, stabilizing. That worrisome fear situation that you're being in is no other than the compassionate grace of Guanyin Pusa, of the Bodhisattva of compassion, is no other than this reminder to be loving and kind and patient and gentle, to cultivate goodness and to not worry, to not stress. Shariputra, here we go. This is something good to clarify. Shariputra, and this famous monk that's being talked to, this form of the emptiness of all dharmas, and if you look at the text that I shared, one translation, there's many translations of this, but if you look at the one that I shared, It has Shariputra, this form of the emptiness of all dharmas, and has a lowercase d, and it has a capital D. And this is something that's very common. So what is dharma? What are dharmas? So dharma and dharmas, if it has a capital D, it's talking about the teachings of Buddha. It's talking about, as wise as can be teachings from the Buddha, the teachings of the enlightened one. Lowercase d is talking about all phenomena, all sensations, all perceptions, all thoughts, all forms, all sounds, all sights, everything. So, Shariputra, this form of the emptiness of all dharmas, the non-permanence, the non-separation of all phenomena, both just sensations and experiences you have, but also like the Buddhist teachings, the wisdom teachings, such as this sutra, is non-arising, non-perishing, non-impure, non-pure, non-increasing, and non-decreasing. So that the awareness nature, or the Buddha nature, the emptiness of all dharmas, does not arise, does not pass away. The seeing is real. That which is seen is not. The awareness itself is real, is true, but that which is arising in that awareness is not. It is temporal. It is like a bubble in the ocean. We don't form a religion of bubbles in the ocean. Look at that one. No, look at that one over there. That's a good one. Why do you want to be in a state of belief about that? It's not so necessary. So this form of the emptiness of all dharmas, everything, is non-arising and non-perishing. It doesn't arise and it doesn't go away. It is not pure, or it's not impure or pure. It is transcendent of impure or pure. It is that which perceives purity or a lack of purity. And it is non-increasing and non-decreasing. You can't make this awareness be more, and it can't become less. It is the normal, ordinary mind, the nature of awareness. Therefore, in emptiness there is no form, and no sensation, perception, volition, or consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind. No sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, or thought. There is no realm of the eye, all the way up to no realm of consciousness. So this part here, what it sparks for me very strongly, and I'm sure there are a few different ways to talk about this or to look at this part, but when you, from what we say in Buddhism and from what I've heard, when you can go into these very deep states of meditation, okay, the main factor of going deep in meditation is brightness, clarity, vividness. So you're not falling into a kind of a slump or a sleepiness where you feel, you're astral projecting, or you feel very relaxed, or you feel like your body expands or shrinks, or this kind of vague general state. That's not how we really determine what is effectiveness or development in meditation. That's not how it goes. Like, oh, I was so relaxed, I was so peaceful, it was amazing. No. But a real vividness and clear seeing and a wakefulness. So you can imagine that, think about when you wake up and you don't want to get out of bed. You're groggy and a little bit sleepy and your eyes are a little bit foggy, right? Now, if you do certain things, maybe you take a cold shower and then you have a cup of coffee and then you take a meditation or something, not necessarily in that order, but but you can imagine the perfect order of doing that, or something like that. And so instead of being in that groggy, kind of sleepy, half awake state, you're alert and you're aware. You're ready to host a Q&A. You're ready to do all kinds of different things, right? You're good. You're ready. You're juiced up, and you're seeing clearly. So imagine, and you can bring a kind of faith into this. This is a good place for faith to come up. Not belief, but a certain kind of trust in what I'm about to say. The understanding that I have is that if you develop these very, very deep states of meditation, your awareness, your clarity, your brightness, your like, I am me and I am fully aware, gets very, very strong, and stronger than you can imagine in a normal way. You will experience that awareness, and there won't be a body there. So it's actually something quite reasonable to imagine, and it's probably something that people fall into more because of a trip, like a psychedelic trip or something like that, and they experience it in like an unstable, vague way. All right. But in meditation, and this is just like an initial kind of experience in very, very deep meditation, you're as awake and vividly seeing and experiencing as much you as you've ever been, right? People say, well, I haven't had my coffee yet, I'm not really me. So as awake as you've ever been, and there's not a body there. There's no body, okay? There's no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body or mind. No sight, no smell, sound, no smell, no taste, touch, or thought. There is no realm of the eye, all the way up to no realm of consciousness. So there's this kind of vivid openness, emptiness, that is directly experienceable. So that's what this is speaking about. And so if you were to experience that, naturally your perception of what yourself is going to change fundamentally. And that's something that really does influence this verse and these teachings, that form is not other than emptiness. Emptiness is not other than form. This body is not other than the lack of this body. And if you have that perspective shifting experience, then you will have a great understanding of that. And still, that would be a faith, even if you've had that experience, because you're not having it at that moment. So, no realm of the eye, all the way up to no realm of consciousness. Yeah, okay. So, no sense of self, no sense of me, my, I, but vividly aware and awake. So, but don't try to get rid of your body. Love your body as much as you can. Be fully aware of your body as it is, because your body is no other than emptiness. So, there is no ignorance and also no ending of ignorance. It wasn't there to begin with, this ignorance, this lack of understanding. There is no ignorance and also no ending of ignorance. This Buddha nature cannot be shifted or changed, cannot be personalized to a fault. It's only for practical purposes that we point out our ignorance, the ignorance of other people, for utilitarian purpose. But inherently, there is no ignorance and also no ending of ignorance, through to no aging and death and no ending of aging and death. It's just an illusion. It's empty of reality. It's empty of truth. It's empty of permanence. There is no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cessation of suffering, and no path. So refuting the Four Noble Truths, that in truth, there's no truth in the Four Noble Truths, absolutely. There is nothing to hang on to. It's for purposes of practicality. So it's a very, very deep teaching. There is no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cessation of suffering, and no path. So that even the core principles of Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, are empty. What are they empty of? Permanence, separation from anything else, and of satisfactoriness. They cannot satisfy. Only this Buddha mind, only this realization of normal, ordinary mind can satisfy this enlightenment. There is no wisdom and also no attainment. So don't struggle, don't chase, don't attach to anything. With nothing to attain, bodhisattvas relying on prajna paramita have no obstructions in their minds. So with nothing to attain, with nothing to chase after, with nothing to grasp, there is no boundary, there is no obstruction, there is no difficulty. Having no obstructions, there is no fear. And departing far from confusion and delusion, they reach ultimate nirvana, ultimate peace. All Buddhas, all awakened ones, all moment by moment sentient beings realizing their nature of the past, present, and future, relying on prajna paramita, relying on this normal, ordinary mind that is transcendent wisdom, attain supreme Buddhahood, attain supreme enlightenment. Buddhahood just means enlightenment. Therefore, the prajna paramita, this mantra, this teaching, is the great mantra of power, the great mantra of wisdom, the supreme mantra and the unequaled mantra, which is able to transcend all sufferings. It is real and not false. Therefore, he uttered the mantra of prajna paramita by saying, Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Para Samgate, Bodhi Shvaha. So let me check what the the translation of that is, and then we will chant it together. Oh no, Italian Wikipedia. Your computer knows where you're at somehow. Italian Wikipedia, what a mess. Yes.
I remember Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. It refers to going further, like go up and up and up and then to the final state.
I have it.
Gone
Yeah, I see it here.
off to the further shore.
Yeah, gone,
Yeah.
gone, everyone gone to the other shore, awakening, svaha, total awakening. Go, go, go beyond, go totally. Totally into just breathing, just being aware, just this normal, ordinary mind. And this great aspiration to bring benefit to all beings, not to be self-focused, not to be self-afflicted by your chasing after some attainment on the path, but that there is no wisdom, there is no attainment. There is just this gone, gone, completely gone to the other shore, awakening. Okay, so does everyone who wants a copy of this to join in the chanting have a copy, or want me to I'll post it again in voice text? I don't know if it's convenient to use it where you are, but we'll send it anyway. Okay, so you can open it up and try to chant along at home or just read along. And this sutra this chanting is very close to my heart because the first temple, the first meditation center that I stayed at and that I lived at for a year, we chanted this every morning. So I always enjoyed chanting that and practicing it, and it gave me a lot of heart when I needed it. So, all right. So everyone, welcome to join along, and just ring the bell to start. You can try to chant along with me. We can bring our hands together. Mahaprajna Paramita Heart Sutra. When the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara was coursing in the deeper Prajna Paramita, she realized that all the 5 skandhas are empty, thereby transcending all sufferings. O Shariputra, form is not other than emptiness, and emptiness not other than form. Form is precisely emptiness, and emptiness precisely form. So also are sensation, perception, volition, and consciousness. Shariputra, this form of the emptiness of all dharmas is non-arising, non-perishing, non-impure, non-pure, non-increasing, and non-decreasing. Therefore, in emptiness there is no form, and no sensation, perception, volition, or consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind. No sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, or thought. There is no realm of the eye, all the way up to no realm of consciousness. There is no ignorance, and also no ending of ignorance, through to no aging and death, and no ending of aging and death. There is no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cessation of suffering, and no path. There is no wisdom, and also no attainment. With nothing to attain, bodhisattvas relying on prajna paramita have no obstructions in their minds. Having no obstructions, there is no fear, and departing far from confusion and delusion, they reach ultimate nirvana. All Buddhas of the past, present, and future, relying on prajna paramita, attain supreme Buddhahood. Therefore, the prajna paramita is the great mantra of power, the great mantra of wisdom, the supreme mantra, and the unequaled mantra which is able to transcend all sufferings. It is real and not false. Therefore he uttered the mantra of prajna paramita by saying, Gate, gate, para, samgate, bodhisvaha. Okay, so to wrap up our gathering today, we can bring our hands together and we'll do 3 sadhus. Sadhu doesn't have so much of a religious meaning in this sense, but it's more to recognize the wholesomeness, the skillfulness, to kind of say well done of what we've done and what we've practiced together. And a nice part about it is that when we say this sadhu and we say it with our full lungs, we express our practice and we're also able to harmonize with each other. Of course, if everyone opens up their mic, it's going to be madness. But still, you can join in and you can harmonize and appreciate it that way. Okay. Sadhu. 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 Okay. Thank you, dear friends, for joining, for participating, dear Sangha. And, especially when you all are participating so regularly and putting forth so much effort. If there's ever a question or something that you just want to clarify or talk about, you just send me a message about it and I will, do my best to respond. Sometimes I get a lot of messages from a lot of people, but if you're putting forth the effort, if you're showing up, I really appreciate that. I really respect that. And if there's anything that I can do to make sure that you have what you need to continue, you just let me know. And I'll for sure make the time for that. Okay? Thank you, friends. See you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Bali. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Yes.
Bantu.
Okay. Anything you all here want to share or to say?
Yeah, I love this one. It's very nice to sing.
Yeah. This sutra is very nice, but it's very Mahayana Sutra. It's not a Theravada Sutra, so um, we might not always be chanting it so freely, but it's a favorite of mine. You wouldn't hear it at a normal Theravada monastery, but yeah, they wouldn't chant it.
Yeah, there's 2 lines that are black that are
Yeah.
unreadable.
Oh, which ones is it?
At the end.
Oh. Oh, because it's the black color. We don't have the ink for
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Ti pare che noi dicevamo che gatte gatte? Sai, cosa sono?
Quando ti fai il solletico.
Sì. Se, like, una volta mi ricordo che visitare. Ti torna in mente gatte gatte o no? In italiano.
Gatte,
Gatte gatte, non dire.
gatte, ma cos'è?
Perché noi lo diciamo da noi su, non so se tutti lo dicono, ma è tipo solletico.
No.
So it's just our probably little tradition. Gatte gatte is this one. When you do to somebody,
Tickling.
yeah, this one. Gatte gatte.
Oh, it's not ticklish.
What? Me, I'm not. No, only bolts and
Oh my goodness.
flash.
Actually, as monks, we're not supposed to tickle.
Yeah.